Welcome to Ag Matters, covering the positive agriculture stories from across Alaska.
Hello, everybody. You're listening to Ag Matters. I'm your host, Ken Hoffman. I'm a farmer out in Palmer, vegetable farmer. My farm's name is Misty Microgreens, but I'm also the executive director of the Alaska Farm Bureau. So if you want to be a part of the farming community, if you want to be a commercial farmer, you could always reach out to me. At my email is khoffman@alaskafb.org, or you could just check out our website at alaskafb.org. All right, so we have somebody in the studio with me today. Probably everybody knows her or of her. We have Misty VanderWeele. Misty.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Ken.
Absolutely. I'm so happy you're willing to come on. So, a lot of our listeners may not know the story about all Dahlia'd. And so if you could just, give us a good story about it.
Well, All Dahlia'd is a flower farm. I've been in business now. We're going on our 13th season.
13th season. Wow.
I know, it's really crazy. I started flower farming here in the valley when really nobody else was really doing the kind of flower farming that I wanted to do, or that kind of evolved, I should say. And so it's kind of lonely for a little while, but I figured it all out and took classes, read books, all the things, and I just kind of went for it after that. And we were a market grower. We grew for Anchorage Farmers Market for, about 8 years. And I always had kind of an idea that I wanted to be home. And so I brought it all home, and the Valley has totally supported me and then some.
Nice. Yeah. So you have a flower stand at your farm? Yeah,
we have a flower stand. Last year we implemented the honor system on one day, and it was really great. And so you'll see some of that happening, so you have more access to our flowers.
Yeah.
So we grow cut flowers for bouquets, arrangements. We do small weddings, like elopement size, not huge weddings. Since we're so close to the airport, a lot of people get married on the glacier.
Okay.
So it's easy. They can swing in, get their bouquet and their boutonniere, and off they go. And I love that. I love designing.
Yeah.
So it's a way to keep my fingers in all the love part, and they can have the drama somewhere else.
Yeah. Excellent. Okay, so your name, Misty VanderWeele. Some people may know the name VanderWeele. Give us a little reason why.
Yep. So I say we're two farms in one because I grow my flowers right in the middle of VanderWeele Farms. Glenn and I, which Glenn's the oldest VanderWeele child, of course, oldest. I won't say how old he is. He's my husband. And so we started my flower farm right in the middle of all the green. So I call myself the vibrant spot in the middle of it all. And so, that's kind of how it is. So when you come to a tour or a dinner, and you also get a tour of the grounds, you're also walking on VanderWeele Farms. You're not just walking on All Dahlia'd.
Yeah.
And so I get a lot of questions on, can we come take photos at your farm? Well, actually not. And it's not because I'm saying no, although I am. It's because we're also a commercial vegetable farm. Mm-hmm. We can't just have people walking around anywhere because they can bring in disease on their shoes. And so I have to keep the group small, which I love anyway. And so, yes, it's two farms in one.
Okay.
If you really want to get technical, there's even some more farms around me that are in the family.
Yeah. So in your introduction, you said something that was kind of interesting. You said that you wanted to start a farm that you hadn't really seen in Alaska.
Not at that point.
So unpack that a little bit.
Okay, so we all know, well, if you're listening to this, Ag Matters, you know that peony farms are there. We have hundreds of them up here in Alaska, which is awesome. It's fantastic. But that's kind of it's a specialty cut flower. And when I say specialty cut flower, so is a dahlia, which I grow, sweet peas. I grow several kinds. And what that means is they all take something a little different to take care of them. And so it makes it almost their own business. You could do your own business just in peonies, just in dahlias, just in sweet pea, I was bit by the bug. At first I was just going to grow dahlias, and but I want to grow everything. Everything you see in a bouquet, I want to grow it all.
Yeah. And
I was totally bit by the bug, hook, line, and sinker. And when I looked out there, nobody was farming flowers like I wanted to farm here in Alaska. Homer, Alaska Stems, and Rachel, she was doing a little bit of it at that time. But she's in Homer. It's almost like it's a whole different growing zone.
Yeah.
And so I was the only one that was doing it here that I knew of, right? Mm-hmm. And so I had to get the books and learn that you can actually grow dahlias at 10-inch spacing, not 18 or 3 feet apart, And so I learned right away that flower farming is not gardening. And so, but there was nobody else doing it. So I had to figure it out.
Yeah.
I had to figure it out. Thank God for Google.
So you're saying you were one of the first farms here in South Central or in the Matsu Anchorage area that was doing like varieties of cut flowers, not just peonies.
Or sunflowers. Like you'd go to farmer's market, you see sunflowers and you do a little bit of things, but nobody was doing the bouquets.
Bouquet.
Yeah,
okay.
kind of like Pike's Market in Seattle. You know, you go to the farmer's market, pick a bouquet, take home. Mm-hmm. Nobody was doing that.
So you were one of the first bouquet farmers.
Yeah, pretty much.
Cool. So, you start with dahlias. Why dahlias? Why was that like the flower you chose?
Oh, this is emotional for me, especially this time of year. I guess it's this time of year. It's emotional all the time. So I'll back up a little bit. When my son was 4, he was diagnosed with Duchenne muscular dystrophy. He was a Jerry's kid, and we were told that he'd be lucky to graduate high school. And so we knew we'd have him a very short time in our life, and we also knew that we wanted to do it in the best way possible. And I'm not talking about monetary, which we want to give him quality. What it lit his fire was being outside, and mine too. And so him and I shared that together, and that's what we focused on is creating a life for him with as much quality as he could, being outside as much as we could. And when he was in kindergarten, he brought home this spindly little dahlia plant. And up until that point, Glenn and him would go out to Sandvik's, they had a dahlia farm out by the Butte on Bodenberger Loop, and you could pick your bouquet of dahlias and stick the money in the slot. And you know what 4-year-old doesn't like to put their money in the slot? And so, and of course, I would ooh and ah over the dahlias. I mean, who wouldn't? They're beautiful, you know. And well, that year, a couple years later, when he started kindergarten, they had planted these dahlias by seed.
Okay.
And so I didn't really know about dahlias other than they're beautiful, right?
Yeah.
And so, anyway, he brings it home. It'd been in his backpack. It looked horrible. I'm like, I don't even know what I'm going to do. How am I going to make this thing survive? You know, I had no idea. But Ben VanderWeele, my father-in-law, comes over, and he's like, Misty, the dahlias grow tubers. I'm like, what's a tuber? You know, so he tells me what a tuber is. Anyways, but you can break the tubers apart and have more and more dahlias.
Yeah.
Every year from that same plant. And it just planted this little seed in my brain, like, you mean I could have something from my son, from Luke, long after he was gone? Mm-hmm. And at that point, it wasn't emotionally charged for me. It was just this idea that I could actually maybe hopefully try to do this. And so that's what I did. I just kind of threw myself into it. I had no idea what I was doing. I'd end up getting clumps as big as this table, 4 feet around, and Glenn would have to help me. And anyway, I had no idea what I was doing. I didn't know how to divide. You know, I didn't know how to do any of that stuff or even what you're supposed to do. But I kept going, and I had all those dahlias. And the beautiful part about the story is Luke lived past high school. He graduated, and it was fantastic to have him that long and kind of like, you know, middle finger to Duchenne kind of thing. We had him until he was 21.
Wow. And
I had propagated those dahlias, well, at least I thought I was, all those years. And so I had about 50 clumps, I should say. And when he passed, it was devastating. I didn't want to leave my house. I didn't even recognize myself anymore. The pain that had put a crater right in the middle of all of our family, me, everything. And I just had those dahlias, and I just threw myself into growing them because I didn't know what else to do with myself. And it's not so much that I really wanted to. I was actually afraid to plant them. But what happened was when they bloomed, it was like he was loving me from heaven. Mm-hmm. And with me being so entrepreneurial spirit, I've done millions of businesses, you know. Yeah. I mean, anyway, I'm like, is this a thing? And which was funny about that, I'm married into the largest vegetable family farm in Alaska, and I'm asking if flower farming is a thing. I just think that's so funny when I think about it now. And obviously it was a thing. Yeah. And I was only going to grow dahlias. Yeah. And I'd always grown a little bit of sweet pea and some stuff in the yard, you know. And that's all I was going to do. I wasn't going to do anything else. Yeah. Yeah, that was history.
Okay, so how many dahlia plants do you have now?
I keep it around 2,000. Oh. If I go bigger, I need equipment.
Okay.
And I'm not saying that's not in the future.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty much a one-woman show. I do have Glenn to help me in the background as far as him heavy lifting, and he's always wanting to do more for me. Yeah. It's just running VanderWeele Farms is huge.
Oh, yeah.
And so there's only one of him. I'll probably be a lot farther along down the road, but it's also one of these things that not only is there only one of him, he's good. Mm-hmm. He's a genius, right? And so why would I want his resources, his smartness, his genius work for me on the farm, on my farm? So anyway, that's kind of what's going on. But now I'm growing 2,000 dahlias. I grow I've always grown 100-foot of sweet pea for sale, for retail, for bouquets, but I grew sweet pea for seed this year.
Oh.
Yeah.
Seed.
Yeah.
So what do you mean by that? Like you're going to sell the seed?
Oh. I have sweet pea flower seed that the moose did not eat. Just don't even go me. I don't want to go there.
Yeah.
And then just sunflowers and snapdragons, and we grow hundreds and hundreds and thousands of other kinds of flowers for our bouquets.
Mostly annual flowers?
Well, considered hardy annuals or cool annuals. So you're not going to go find, you can go to the greenhouse, which is a nursery crop, and those are more warm annuals, like, your begonias and your lobelias and the baskets, fillers and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
But hardy annuals are what cut flowers are usually grown from because of their hardiness. You can start them in the cooler temperatures, and once it gets warm, they start blooming for you. And there's so anything you can find at a florist, most of those are considered, not all, I'd say half are
mostly
considered
annuals.
hardy annuals.
Hardy annuals.
Yeah, there's a difference between hardy and warm weather annuals.
Okay, so is a dahlia a hardy annual or is it like a perennial? What would you classify that?
Here in Alaska, I'd say a hardy annual.
Okay, even though it doesn't come from seed, generally it comes from a tuber?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. And it's because in some places they can keep them in the ground. They don't have to dig them up.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Alaska's not that, but
Yeah.
darn it.
Well, but peonies, as I understand it, they are like a hardy perennial in a way.
I think
plant
so.
them?
I think so. Yeah, I don't grow peonies. I have no reason to grow peonies. I love them, but I can get them anywhere I want, which I do. I do source from a lot of local because they bloom before the dahlias do, and so it's nice to collaborate with other growers. And hence, I also collaborate with Rachel with the tulips.
Yes.
So it's really great. I love collaborating, but it has to be Alaska grown.
Yeah. Would you ever grow your own tulips? I mean, that's something.
I have been.
Yeah?
I've been growing my own tulips for years. I just have had crop failure 2 years in a row.
Okay.
Because we moved where we had them. I'm not going to go into all of that.
That's farming.
Right. And so, so it's really nice. But I cannot, I could grow the amount that people want around here. It's just tulips are a very labor-intensive crop. And so I will always grow my own because I love my colors. I have that. I just know what I like, and I know what my customers like. And that's the only problem about ordering or buying flowers in for somebody else. You're limited to what they have.
Yeah.
And so it doesn't necessarily always match what I would like, but it is so nice to have that because one of my things I'm a stickler about is Alaska grown flowers.
Yes.
I could go to a wholesaler and I could go buy all the flowers that I grow and I could import all the ones, but I'm just not going to do that.
No.
I can even import American grown flowers.
Yeah.
I don't want to. I'm in Alaska grown family. We grow Alaska grown food, and it's just our mission is Alaska grown. And I like to take the winters off.
No kidding. I know. I love it.
Yeah, me too. I love the seasonal lifestyle.
So, tulips, again, that's been a kind of a fascination of mine. I always heard that it was too cold to grow tulips in Alaska.
Nope, not true.
Okay, so are you planting them in the fall or are you planting in the spring? Okay, so you already planted them?
Yes, I have. But there's many, many ways to grow tulips, and took a deep dive into learning all the facets of it because I'm doing it in a completely different way this year that I'm not ready to share.
No, yeah,
but
that's right.
Yeah, I'm very excited about what I've learned. Well, yeah.
Like VanderWeele tulips. I mean, it's perfect.
Dutch,
Dutch. All right, you got to do it.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So you do a lot of bouquets. What else do you do in your business? You don't just grow flowers and sell them. I'm sure you do we talked a little bit about the agritourism. Yep. I'm sure there's other things like that. So go into that. So
when I started growing flowers, I knew I wanted to share them because they've done so much healing and good in my life that I wanted to share that with other people. And I also am a foodie. I love food. I love growing. I love the VanderWeele farms. I love all the vegetables. And I wanted to figure out how to marry the two. Mm-hmm. And so I started to 10 people on my deck way back 12 years ago to see if I was onto something. Have a flower element where you make your flowers for your centerpiece so you can eat and enjoy the flowers, and then have an Alaska grown meal. And what does that look like? And over the years, I went from my deck to my yard with a plastic folding table to then renting big wood tables. And so now we do the whole field to vase, farm to table dinners where it's dinner, it's chefs, 5-star chef, it's live music, definitely the flower element because I want people, and the tour of the grounds. Mm-hmm. And so we have 2 dinners a summer now. We used to do a lot more, but it's a lot to undertake, and I loved intimate idea of we sell out, people keep coming back. It's something really great. So we have that model where you have the dinner and the live music, and then we just have the farm walk where it's just the tour part. And you get to see our operation and be able to talk to me personally and ask questions about growing or whatever. And it's a really fun time. So that's kind of how we've done it. My business is too. We got the bouquets and arrangements, and then we have the agritourism, floral tourism side of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you do dinners. Do you just do normal farm tours?
Yeah, that's the farm walk. It's just the 1 hour, just one time a week. Yep.
Once a week?
Yep.
So every week throughout the summer?
Yep.
Okay,
Until
cool.
I'm so sick of it, I can't stand it. If I have to say my story one more time, I'm like, ah.
Yeah.
But no, I do love it. It's really great to see the moms bring the kids and the grandmas and all the things. And people from out of state. I've had some people drive in the yard like, you make a living doing this? Yeah, it's a pretty great second income. I could actually, have a full-time income if I wanted and that kind of thing. So it's really, really great to see the community support around what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And it's all about Alaska grown.
Alaska grown flowers.
Yeah.
All right. So walk us through like a farmer's calendar. So it's November now. What's on your to-do list throughout the winter, and then when do you start planting?
Okay, right now we're cleaning and packaging sweet pea seed, finishing up farm cleanup. Okay. We've had a long fall, so I've been able to rest a little bit more because today I should be able to be done with outside work.
Okay.
I just have about an hour left outside. I'm very happy about that. And I start immediately planning for next year because everything's fresh on my mind. Now that I've been growing so long, I've had some really awesome opportunities. I've been in a book, a national book published by Abrams with 29 other flower farmers from North America.
Oh, wow.
And that was really great. We had a book signing this summer around that.
Oh, what's the book name?
It's called The Flower Farmers.
Oh, The Flower Farmers. Okay.
Yeah, you can find it on Amazon. Yep. Or the flower stand when we're open. So in November, that's just that. And then I'm already thinking about the dates for next summer's dinner, which I already have in my mind, and all the things. Then I'll go into planning mode here this next week where the whole house will be dominated with flower farming planning. And because it's twofold, it's not just flower farming. We'll get everything set up for rock and rolling to start the sweet peas in February.
Okay.
And that's also when we roll out the dinners and what other events we're going to have for the summer. We'll roll those out then. And then also now that they're a farm and garden show,
you're going to be part of that?
Yeah, we were last year, which was fantastic.
Oh, wow.
So we're going to do it again this year.
Are there events that you do, like vintage market?
I used to when I was first getting my name out there. I don't do that anymore. I really, really just focus. I found I really do like taking time off in the winter and just having a slower pace where, I don't mind getting up at 5, but I don't want to leave my house at 5. You know what I mean?
Indeed.
Yeah.
So you said you start planting the sweet peas in February?
Yep.
Then you transplant them out later?
Yeah, we start them in trays in February. Once they're germinating, we keep them cold. Not freezing, but cold. They go into kind of like a dormant kind of stage for a little while.
Okay.
And then as soon as the soil can be worked, they're out.
Okay.
Out.
And when do you plant the dahlias?
Not till the end of May, beginning of June.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
They need it a little bit warmer.
Yeah.
They can't take any
freeze.
frost. No,
Okay.
That's too much money to leave on the vine.
Yeah.
No.
Well, how large is your flower operating area? Is it an acre, 2 acres, half an acre?
I'm about at 2 acres.
2 acres.
It's just not all in production at the same time.
Okay.
Because we have tulips first, the ranunculus anemones, those are spring flowers. Then the sweet pea come on.
Okay.
And then some other cooler ones that are starting to bloom. And so our bouquets kind of start evolving.
Yeah.
And then to where, there are some people who hold out for those dahlias,
Okay.
And that's usually mid-July and then full swing by August.
Do you do it like a flower CSA?
I used to. I had a flower subscriber service for 12 years.
Oh, really?
But I'm not doing that this year. We've taken the flower subscription out of it.
Oh, really? Why is that?
The average price, the average sale when a person comes into the flower stand is much more than the bouquet price for my subscription. And why is because they're buying 2, 3, 4 bouquets at a time. I'll have some people come in and wipe me out of bouquets.
Really?
Yes. And so I need those flowers. I'll make more money on those flowers. And it's
in the flower stand.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Good.
it is so frustrating making those bouquets knowing that I could make 4 times
Yeah.
Right. And so it's like, yeah, I was hard to say no to it. I have some really long time people that have been with me forever.
Yeah.
And it's hard to say no to them. But on the same hand, I have to think about my energy level too. I'm not getting younger. I know what my day looks like I know my whole week what it looks like. The minute I start farming, I know what my new weeks are going to be. And it's all about conserving energy, conserving, less steps on this body.
Yeah. No, simplify. Yes, I get it.
Because I love the designing. I love growing. I love being out in the field. I don't want to be in the computer on admin. I have to. I don't want to.
Yeah.
And so I will make everything great, and I don't do much admin in July and August, September.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, it's just, I can't because I don't want to. I want to be on the field. I don't leave my farm in August. Though the flowers is why I do it, right? And so that's
cool. Well, are you trying to expand the business? Do you have plans to? Are you looking for people to join your team? What if somebody thinks this is a really cool operation, wants to be a part of it?
Well, the issue right now is I have a couple teenage girls that work for me now. I have Carly, which she's great. She only works a few days a week. But I might be looking in for I'd like one person full-time with me, side by side. I've wanted that for a few years. I would love Carly to do it, but she's growing her own flowers for her wedding, and she wants to start her own flower farm. Anyway, all the things. So, yeah. Yeah, of course, my daughter worked for me for years, but she's on her own thing too. And so I wouldn't mind finding somebody that would. Okay. But so far, I haven't. That's not a problem. People, they've already asking if they can come to work. It's a specific, people have this idea that flower farming is this romantic, sunny dress and put a big floppy hat on. And I don't know if you follow me on Instagram, but you don't see me wearing any of that. Yeah. And over the years, I get to where I don't even care what I look like. If I want to have something to say, I'm going to say it. If you don't like it, don't watch me, kind of thing. Yeah. Yeah, it's dirty work. It's dirty. But I like to have flower days where it's work in the morning and then flower afternoons where we're just playing with the flowers all afternoon. Yeah. And that part's what we live for. But weeding, you're on your knees, So I haven't had a problem with the people romanticizing the job and coming with the big floppy hats and not realizing, where's your work gloves?
It's a flower farm.
Those are flip-flops. Yeah. That ain't going to work.
Yeah, farming's hard work.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, even if it's flowers.
Yes, it is. Buckets of water are heavy.
Yeah. So as we wind down, are there any other things you would like the listeners to know about you, about the business, about flower growing?
Well, what's coming up here, the Palmer Museum History of Arts is doing an event called Her Story. It's four local women business owners talking about their story and how they got into business. It's all about history of women of doing business here in Palmer, and I'm excited to be a part of that. It's on Friday night. So check out their website. I'll be speaking there and be opportunity for you to actually ask me questions, hop on our newsletter list, that sort of thing.
Okay, cool. And what are your social profiles that people can follow you on?
Facebook, Instagram are the biggest ones for me. But yeah, I'm on Nextdoor.
All right. Yeah. Awesome. And what's your website?
It's Dahlia'd.com or MistyVanderWeele.com. You can find me either place.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Misty, for coming in.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
It's been super fun.
Yeah.
I'm excited for the flower season, next flower season.
Oh, it's always flower season in my house.
Excellent. All right. Well, thank you, everybody, for listening to today's program. I'm Ken Hoffman, and you're listening to Ag Matters. Bye-bye.
You've been listening to Ag Matters, covering positive agriculture stories from across Alaska. Ag Matters is a production of Radio Free Palmer, recorded at our studios in Palmer, Alaska. For more information about this program, email manager@radiofreepalmer.org.